Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. I am super, super excited to be here. My guest, Lauren Sovran, is here, and I am so thrilled that she's decided to join us on our virtual couch. And so, Lauren, the first thing that I want to do is I want us to take 3 deep breaths just in community. So let's breathe in through the nose, hold it, and then breathe it out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. Hold it, breathe it out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. Hold it, and then breathe it out through the mouth. All righty, so Lauren, introduce yourself, share with the people who you are, what it is that you do, and how you can help them. So take it away.
Ooh, I just printed these words out today. I get to use them on y'all. So my name is Lauren Sovran, and I am a HeartMath certified trainer. I'm also an NLP certified master and trainer. And I teach people the D.E.E.P methodology. So D.E.E.P is discovering what's inside, which is your nervous system.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I got all the words together. I was like, oh, she done got her words together, Jesus. So discovering the nervous system in your body. I'm looking down at the paper real quick. Empowerment through breathing.
Yes.
Enlightenment through heart activation, and peace. Peace comes with feeling that divine connectivity with God, self, and others. So I teach the D.E.E.P methodology for people to take into relating, whether it's friendships, mother, father, lover, all of those things. So I teach the deep connection methodology. And all of that helps you connect. You know, when you recognize that, you know, I am a being that's having a physical experience in a physical body. I think we get away from that when we get into connecting with others. I don't know where my voice just went. I think it was something hard about that being said. When we were doing the foretalk, I was telling you, and you saw it on that other on one of my lives where I was saying that this subject for me, I thought this was devil's work for a long time. And then when I didn't think it was devil's work anymore, at about 18, 19, I started seeing that there was other things out there in the world except the dogmas that I was taught.
Yes.
And it was just still a struggle to let go of that childish hold
Yes.
to those dogmas. And I struggled with this stuff up until recently, even though I kept learning, I kept growing.
Yes.
I needed to practice this stuff in the dark.
Yes.
I couldn't practice it out loud.
Yes. You had to be in the closet.
I had to practice in the closet. I was trapped in the closet.
You was trapped in the closet.
Oh my God. I was a closet manifester.
Yes. Yes.
I was a closet heart practitioner.
Yes. Know it well. We have very similar stories.
Yeah.
Because you do all these things. But when you have been indoctrinated and manipulated and brainwashed in cults, it's like, you're scared, because even if you know that it's not, it's almost like if you know that it's not real, but they told you that it was, somewhere back here, even though you've done lots of work around it, somewhere back here in your mind, you still like, that's the
Pulling you
devil.
like this is like that little string that's like,
Yes, that's the devil, right? Because for me, it
no.
was tarot and astrology and stuff. And, they told us that was the devil, and, even divination and all these things and stuff, so I get that well. I get it well.
Yeah, definitely. So my practice has brought me around, and we were just starting to talk about it. He was like, I gotta get this recording on. We was just about to talk about it. The practices that I've learned over the years have taken me to a place where my audience has been asking me more about relationship questions. I always kind of shied away from that because I'm like perpetually single. Perpetually, like.
But this is something that you've done even already in past lives.
I
So
can agree,
it's not new for you.
right? So, and you know, what's funny is most matchmakers are single.
Yes, that's so right. Even in the movies. Look at what was his name? Hitch.
Yeah. But you know, like in real life they are, and or they have like tumultuous relationships because like the just the focus on helping others relate, it's you can't clock 9 to 5 hours with that when you have clients. You
Right.
can't say I'm cut off at 6 when they are having
A
a
meltdown.
emotional emergency. You
Hmm.
got to kind of be available.
Right. Well, and
So
the thing is
I
too, if
work,
you think about it, it's like hairdressers. You see a lot of hairdressers.
never had a head on.
And when they have their hair done, they be looking a hot mess, you know. But
And
they
they slay some hair.
that's what I was gonna say, but they can do some hair. You walk up
Baby.
that salon, you be like feeling and looking like $1 million.
Baby. I used to, my brand used to be called the Queen of Forgiveness, which I let go of recently because it was very limiting.
Yes.
It limited me to less than I was capable of. So
And a lot of
um
hard work too.
it is, it's a lot of
I
heavy
mean,
work.
like heavy.
I still get forgiveness work. People
Yeah.
still come to me for that. Um, but what happened? They were coming to me for relationships, like marriages. I was like, how am I marriage counseling right now?
So it just fell on you.
Yeah, it was, you know, it's just something that was definitely meant to be.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but some marriages have been salvaged. Some we helped them let go.
Yeah.
That's what forgiveness was about. We were like, let's let go. Right? And some of them it was like, let's let go of that issue, you know, let's let go of that. But I learned over the years that it's not forgiveness that is necessary, it's acceptance. So that kind of broke my own forgiveness theory that I had over the years, that there was something to forgive. It's really just something to accept. Once we can accept it, where do we go from here? Boom. That's the way to say it physically. There's some spiritual aspects to it and nobody will ever understand how that release happens and you stop reliving that moment over and over and over and over and over. But all people wanted to talk about was they lovers. That's all they wanted to talk about. Now it's just like, we could talk about your mom. We could talk about your cousin. We could talk about, you know, I'm like, and then, you know, not saying that to that specific person, but just saying it to my audience, you know,
Right. Right.
you know, rarely every now and then I had a mother issue or a father issue or, you know, a co-worker issue. Like, um, you know, every now and then I had something like that, but mostly it was like my husband, my girlfriend, my lover. I was like, "Ooh, child." So
Mm-hmm.
as I was building this platform here, I started off doing the manifestation. That's when you came. And then we changed over to deep connection. And I was just talking about just the HeartMath.
Yeah, that's amazing too. And let me um tell the people where I found you on
Oh,
TikTok. And I
please
was
tell.
surfing TikTok one night. So if you're on TikTok, especially at night, you can look for Lauren. She's amazing. And she was doing one of those heart opening meditation thingies. I think that's what I don't know. All I
Heart
know,
focused
because
breath.
I came in right when she was starting. So I didn't even come in to hear what it was. I just came in and I just, of course, immediately started doing what she said. And it was just amazing. And so when I did that, I said, you know what? I need to reach out to her and, offer her to come on my virtual couch. I said, because I would love to have a conversation with her. And it's how we got here. So I just wanted y'all to know that, she's amazing, doing amazing work on TikTok. And so make sure that you are following her there. And of course, her details will be in the show notes. All right, carry on.
Yeah, you did tell me that story. You told me that that was how you found me. HeartMath is amazing work. I said just HeartMath, but HeartMath is the crux of my work. It's the basis. It's everything, because the things that I've learned about this heart,
Well,
like,
that would make sense with the forgiveness,
yeah,
because that's where you're going to have to do it.
yep, in the heart, that heart work.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's phenomenal, and that's so needed. I mean, we need that more than anything else, and because I tell people all the time, I talk about that forgiveness is like, for me, I don't know if it's something that I could teach because it was so embedded in me. Like, to me, the most person that I would need to forgive is myself. So that's usually the work that I do on me, is forgive myself, because I forgive other people very easily. But that was a training and condition that I got as a young child. Don't hold on to nothing. Forgive it, let it go.
yeah, it's the reliving of the moment that
Yes.
everybody up. It's we're the only creatures. When I started learning the science, that made me confused at first, because all of this spiritual stuff that we learned, where everything was like so esoteric that you just couldn't know what was happening.
Right.
I remember, I think I was 4, and this is how I became the Queen of Forgiveness. 4 years old. This is how I became the Queen of Forgiveness. 4 years old, I'm in church, and the pastor is preaching about forgiveness, and I raised my little hand, and the pastor was like, yes, even though he don't do Q&As in the middle of his sermon. I was only 4, so they let me have it. And I say, but what does that mean?
Oh, you was one of those.
And yeah, I was totally one of those. And the pastor looked at me and he said, well, Lauren, God, you ask God to help you with forgiveness and he just forgives. I have to say, I don't really know, but I'll look it up and we'll talk about it later. So after church, my parents brought me down to his study and we looked it up. And he said, I don't have an answer. He said, but since God put that question on your heart, you go find out. That's what happened.
So powerful. So
That's what
you
happened.
have a destiny from a child.
Yeah. He put it on me. He said, go find out. I was into it. I'm 4. I made my sister, well, I didn't make her. My sister was very lovely. She taught me how to read, because I didn't know how to read yet. She taught me how to read. So I learned how to read when I was 4. And so I could find out what forgiveness was. That was my mission. That was the only reason I wanted to learn how to read at 4. Otherwise, I didn't care. I could wait till I got to school. But I was like, I gotta find out, but I can't read.
He's so cute. I want to know.
I just want to know. They keep saying it's not like this in the dictionary anymore. But when I was young, the definition for forgiveness was to forgive.
Yeah.
And the definition of to forgive was the act of forgiveness.
Yeah. It was
It's not like that anymore.
it
It's
was
a lot
the
more
craziest thing.
robust.
How you going to define the word? We using the word. It was the craziest thing. I remember that too. It's like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's way more robust now than when you look in the dictionary, but back then it was not robust. And it bit my buns that they used the word to define the word, because nobody knew what it was. But today we do have it better defined. I was one of the, forefront people. I actually was a Queen of Forgiveness for many years. I was one of the forefront people who was speaking on that, who was talking about that forgiveness was for you, not for the other person. We think we're forgiving somebody else, but we're really letting go of something for ourselves.
Right. Right.
Because if something tragic happened to you, you don't want to relive it. You just can't help it. How do you get away from that? that's when getting into the science of the thing was important to me. We're the only creatures on the planet. Don't know about in the universe, but we're the only creatures on the planet who can modify our own memories.
Yes.
We can remember something different from the way it happened. And that's not automatic. I thought, and I say everybody because I thought that it meant that I just didn't remember something correctly. But no, you can go back and rethink it and remodify it to whatever you'd like it to be. And
No,
people were like,
that's the law of revision. You just go ahead and shift that thing because you know why you do it, right? You shift it so you can shift the energy around it, and then it'll affect other things that happen in the middle.
and it causes what we call a sea of forgetfulness.
That's right.
It causes that. So yeah, people say, and I'm gonna get heavy real quick. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, do it, girl. That's why
People
we.
like, how can I forgive rape though, or my child being molested, or da 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 da. I said, I don't know. I did it though. Met that man in the virtual streets, inboxed me some years later, and I said, hey, how you doing? Fine. He was like, I just wanted to reach out to you, see how you doing. I said, well, I'm doing good. God bless you. And I hope that you have a wonderful life as I continue to block him. And not out of hatred either, but he has no place here.
Right. Because
He has no
he
place
just
here.
he just no longer serves you.
Yeah, he has no place here.
Yeah.
He harmed me, he harmed my child.
Yeah.
He has no place. But I remember after blocking him, I remember sitting there feeling almost nothing. I remembered it, but it didn't have the
Right.
pain, the sting, no tears, no.
Nothing.
I called my son, I say, did you feel that? He said, yeah, I felt real eerie for a second. I said, yeah, right? And I said, he called me. And he just wanted to check on us and see if we was okay. He said, well, that's nice of him. He said, what did you say? I said, we fine. Hope you doing good too. God bless you. Have a nice day. And I hit the block button. I said, I sent you his profile. You block him too. My son said, well, it's done. He said, I saw it as soon as you sent it to me, and I blocked him as soon as you sent it. You didn't even tell me. We was on the same page, darling.
Yep.
And my son I could feel his energy. We on the phone. He was not full of tears. He was not upset. He
Yeah.
was not crying. He was just like, here we are.
Yeah.
And I said to my son, you think we healed? He said, I think we okay. Now he's still dealing with some stuff from his past.
You're
But
going to. You're going to. Because
that
healing is
anger,
not linear.
you better speak that.
It ain't linear. You could heal this.
Time is not what people think it is.
No, it's an illusion. It's like, because you do all this work and you say, okay, well, I'm good, and then you have that experience, you're like, I'm good. But then something happens over here that, triggers you, brings it back up. And then you think, oh, well, I'm not healed, but you really are. It's just that you might have some work to do around that particular thing.
Healing is a hard word for me these days
Yeah, it is.
because it personifies the fact that
You're not well.
yeah, there's no place of freedom.
And that is why I had decided, because I saw a video. I don't know if you follow this guy, but he's on YouTube and I followed his journey. His name is Jerome Braggs. And so he's an energy healer.
I know who that is.
You know what I'm talking about? And so I was watching his video
I seen him on Facebook. You follow him on TikTok, you said?
on YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, so I see him on Facebook. He on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm
He
gonna
is
put this up.
amazing, girl. I invited him on the show too. I'm waiting. And so But he's amazing. And he was talking about how, some things he wished he had known when he was, sick before or whatever. And so he was talking about that. And he was talking about the fact of seeing yourself as whole and healed and delivered. And yet you're over here, you're healing.
Mm,
And so he
mm.
was like, you can't do
Can't
that.
have both. Can't
No,
have both.
you can't
You
both.
can only be healing that place of no freedom, no refuge.
Yes.
That place where you always in the sticks and in the rocks.
Yes. Yes. So that shifted it for me. When I heard him say that, I was like, bet, because I would always, because I always would share, especially on the lives, because I know sometimes it's noticed. You know what I mean? Like I share about I had long COVID and what it did for my memory and my brain and stuff like that. And so I share that because that's one of the reasons why I don't do those questions, because it's too distracting. Can't focus on all those things anymore. And so I shared that. But when he was talking about that thing, girl, I did this whole releasing of all of it for myself. Like I created a ritual for me to just release that thing, even the energy around it and the identity of it, and it was a whole like shifting of I felt like removing timelines, not even shifting out of them, but removing some timelines, just getting rid of some, because we can all live in different timelines at the same time. So yeah.
That's a fun play, living
Yeah.
on timelines. So my roommate, um, one day she said I hit her. Like, I was like, is this woman crazy? Like, what? I said, she said I popped upside the head like that. I said, that's not in my character.
Right.
I said, so either I'm a little crazy or you a little crazy. One of us is messed up because either I popped you in some hysterical mania
And didn't know.
and didn't know, or you imagined it. But then when I got back to my room, the thought came to me what you said, jumping timelines. And I said, now here on this timeline, I'm tripping. I'm ticked. And I said, what does happen when we swap timelines? And I wondered, did I actually pop her upside her head?
Did you want to?
No, it was a regular day. I was going to get me some food out the refrigerator. I didn't want to pop upside the head. I didn't pop her upside the head. Matter of fact, the way I found out is because she popped me upside the head while I was in the refrigerator. And I said, what? But crazy story. But it had me thinking about what happens when we transfer our consciousnesses along another timeline. What happens to this physical body at that point? What happens? I don't know. It's play. I'm playing with it in my head. And I'm wondering, or maybe on some other timeline, I was ticked off of her and I'm crapped up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. We done been through some stuff. We ain't never been physical towards each other like that. But no, I'm just thinking about going from field to field, what happens in this physical body, because I've seen some strange things and I've experienced some stranger things than that. That was just light work. That's why I could tell that on the show. That's light work. I've experienced some stranger things than that. I've experienced healing. Like you were saying with Jerome, and I'm gonna look him up because he just came back into my sphere when you said that.
I'm telling you, girl, I binged like almost everything he had when I first found him. Because it was just that it was enlightening because not everybody was talking like he was. And then I knew where he was coming from too, from the religious aspect I felt him that way too, because the same thing. Like my grandmother was a pastor, Pentecostal holiness in the South. So, a lot of that stuff, and the way he came and he brought it and the way he stood on it. Because they told him, the first video I saw, he said that he went in the hospital and he was sick and he just thought, he had some kind of virus or whatever, and he did. But they gave him 7 days to live. In addition to, he had a couple of different things going on, but they diagnosed him with HIV and, kidney failure and all these things, and told him he had 7 days to live. And I'm like, Lord Jesus. So, of course, that immediately got my attention because I believe in healing. Like, I believe in healing like never before. And I know that that's a
I
part
want
of
to challenge that. You believe in full health.
I believe in full health. That is so right. I
Yeah.
know that it is achievable.
I'm trying to erase the word healing from my vocabulary. That's what I'm working on, because like I said, it's that no man's land.
Yeah, it is. It's because you are always healing.
Yeah. There'll always be something up. I will say things can be diseased. There'll be always something up for a restoration, but restoration is not a long process. When healing happens in the body, the only time it takes is for it to completely come to an end. But when the body is healing, each cell heals over quickly.
Yes.
And then the next, and then the next, and then the next. And to us, it takes time, but it's actually all happening at once.
Yeah.
And then the next, and then the next, and then the next, and the next. And until that wound is completely sutured and closed by the body itself, So or filled in. If no one puts sews it together, it will fill itself with flesh.
Yes, that's right. Sure does. I've seen it many times.
Yeah. So
it's going to heal, regardless of how, they can stitch it up, or it could just heal on its own.
Yeah, the body will restore itself. Your life can be restored. Your spirit can be restored. Your body can be restored. Everything can come to restoration. So restoration is my new word for healing. I need to be restored because right now, like, I got into a relationship recently here, and it was like short. Oh, lasted like 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah. Would you say not the one?
Not the one, right? Thought he was the one. Never had felt that feeling before. I was like, what's that, Jesus? But we're going to figure that out later. But
probably was a prototype.
Somebody else said that.
Because sometimes you'll get a prototype before you get the real one.
Come on, baby.
I was gonna say I got that, and I recognized it actually, which was amazing. Like I got one that was, he would have been the one if he could be the one. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't be the one. So he just paved the way for the one. So when the one came, I recognized him immediately. Yeah. So you'll know him.
I'll know him when I see him. I heard that on a panel yesterday. And because some girl had said on that panel that she meant well. She said, date yourself. Get to know yourself and love on yourself. And then you will attract better men. I said, let me say something. I said, and this is nothing against you. I have a question. Because I know it sounds like I got a statement, but I got a question. I said, I'm 42 years old. I've been habitually single for a long time. Of my 24 years as an adult, I have had 3 years, maybe 4 years worth of relationships. I date myself all the time. I know me. I love on myself a lot. I say, look at my swag. I take care of the physical body. I take care of the spiritual body. My name is Deep Connection Coach, for God's sake. I said, I take care of all the things. Now, here's my question. I said, I know y'all didn't know I had a question. Here's my question for the life of me. How do I compromise when I get in a relationship? How do I care about his feelings enough that I'm not putting mine away? How do I do that? How do I do that single at a table eating dinner by myself? I just want to know how. If you can help me figure that out, I
What
said
did
I
they
would be
say?
ever so grateful. Oh, baby, she didn't have an answer. Nobody did.
I was gonna say, the thing is, that kind of stuff is cookie cutter because, it worked. Like I said, that's what I tell people that I did. But that was after I got out of a relationship, that I knew that, he was abusive, in a lot
Yeah,
of ways. And
something like that. I get it.
that, but in your situation, that's a whole different thing. Like
Yeah.
there are so many things that can be at play for you. It could be some past life stuff going on. It can also be some, how you look at things and what it is that you are attracting. And, if you know what you want, there are so many different variations that can happen for that. I mean, it's like when people say that, they had that their stomach hurts or they feel nausea and vomiting. Okay, so that is like 100,000 different things that could be. You know what I mean? So you can't cookie cutter that because
Thank
we
you.
are individuals. And the other thing too is, sometimes you have to look at how you look at relationships too. You know what I mean? Like what is your perception of them and what is it that you want? And what I tell people
Taking notes.
is write down. Got you, girl. I got you. I tell people to write down what it is that they want in in a partner. Because these days everybody has different types of partners. I'm never going to tell you. I'm not that way. But whatever you want in a partner, write down what you want and be for real. Don't bullshit and don't just be on the surface. Go deep. You want that man to have a good peace. You want to have a good peace. Some people like, different types of things. Do you want him to be a person that, likes to travel? Do you need him to be a spiritual person, but not religious? These are things, you write down and you put that down. And then you take that before God and you say, this is what I want. And one thing that I did was I wrote all that stuff down and I took it before God and then I did my own ritual and I burned it. Burned it. And he showed up. Now, I wasn't looking for him. I honestly didn't care. At that point, I was at a place where I just needed to be free. I was looking for freedom. I was looking for, I was honestly looking for me, because after you've been in a long, like I was 20 plus years with my first. And so, and we got married at 19. So I was young, dumb, you know, full of it. And so when I came out of that, I said, okay, I don't want the same one, so I didn't focus on that. I didn't want him, he couldn't be this and this and this and this, but I didn't even write that down. I didn't focus on that. I focused on what exactly did I want, the characteristics and the qualities and the things that I desire for him to have. And
Mhm.
then what I did was I made myself a match to that.
Mhm.
So those things that I wanted him to bring to the table, I made sure that I could bring to the table as well. Certain things like, other things like I put on there, I have to have a man with some good health insurance because I don't like to work jobs if I don't want to. I don't like to have to be beholden to some health insurance so that, you know what I mean? Like if I want to leave a job, I'm not worried about that. I'm just out. So that was one thing that I did ask for, and I put that on the list. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, like you can put on the list everything that you want, spiritually, physically, in every way. Now, are you going to get 100% of those things? Probably not. But if you get 90%, would you be happy? Especially the major ones and stuff like that, because I also said that, I need a man that's gonna, bring in some petrol because I'm not a broke person and I'm not want to live like that. It was like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, I have a cousin that she won't date nothing that don't make over 6 figures. You know, she's not doing that. I didn't go quite that far, but I did go to a point where I was like, nah, he need to, be bringing something to the table and things like that, and stuff, and then there were things that I said that I had to have, that I did get as far as personality. Like I wanted a man that was intuitive. My husband is hella intuitive. I
Okay.
wanted a man that was supportive, and I asked for love because I felt like I never got that. You see, so when you sit down and you put that list together, you know what I mean, and do what you need to do. Like at one point, I put a list together and I put it under my pillow and I slept with it. And so every
Mm,
night, I felt like I was sleeping with, my man.
I
Then
love
I
that.
then I wrote it down and I burned it, and then I wrote
Release that,
a
letting it
level.
go.
I did.
That release from the attachment to it. I think I've been over the years just so, since I was in my early 30s, I wanted somebody, and I got really serious about it in my mid 30s, like 35, 36. So I've
Mhm.
only really been serious about, being in a relationship for what, 36, 42, what's that, 6 years? Hasn't even been that long.
Right.
So I had to learn all of these things about relating itself. Like I realized that from 18 to 35, I didn't have to relate with anyone. I didn't
Right.
even care. I was like, that crazy, you're not. Like what? I'm loving towards you, I'm nice towards you. I do it like, if you're unhappy, tell me, we'll try to fix it. I was in relationships. I was like, we'll try to fix it, but you're not gonna get on my nerves. That's what you're not gonna do.
See,
So I was quick to let him go. Like, okay, you getting antsy and I'm working with you. I'm not being dismissive. I'm working with you, but you making me anxious. You gotta go. Like, so I never really cared up into that. And then when I started caring, I felt like that was where the ticket went, when
yeah,
it was that need to have someone, that attachment.
yes.
So we're not, I got it, it's on my
It
phone
creates
somewhere.
it creates an urgency
Yeah.
that is not even necessary. And think about what urgency does to your nervous system.
Yep. And we looking for connections, not attachments. That's why I'm here at
Yes.
this point now with the connected heart room and all of that, because I'm looking to focus on connections, not attachments.
Yes. 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 And that's a perfect way to be, because the thing is the more the more I learn about these metaphysical laws,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, it's phenomenal. And I'm finishing my master's in
Mm-hmm.
metaphysics. And
Which,
my goal is to finish it by the end of the year.
which school did you go to?
University of Sedona,
I love them.
metaphysics. Yeah. So I finished the bachelor's
Reese.
year or two. I don't know, but I'm
You
doing the
hear me?
master's. Huh?
I called you Della Reese. Della Reese.
Girl, that's what I'm talking about. Touched by an angel.
That's about Ava,
But I
yeah.
did. So I was like, but the more I learned about that stuff, y'all, girl, it's like, it's just, your mind is just so expansive. You know what I mean? It's like, and then they have a PhD, girl, in ancestral healing. It's
Mm,
like, oh my God. So I'm gonna do that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna
I
do
love
this
that.
thing, but the most amazing thing is when you start to learn about those laws, like the law of detachment, like what we just talked about just now. When you start just letting that shit go. Think about it. When you let stuff go, then all of a sudden things just start popping up. Like you just holding on to this thing. Oh, I gotta have this. I want this. I desire this. And you creating affirmations around it and all that stuff. And what I'm learning is that when you start to just create affirmations around your life and what it is that you desire, like I started creating affirmations around how I want to live my life. And not even like things, except for I do want my house, but not, but not, not just a lot of things, you know what I mean? Because to be honestly, they don't move me that much because I lost a whole bunch of my things in the storage. So after that, after I cried, After I cried about that stuff and I whined about it a little while, I got up and shook it off and I was like, I'm not even worried about it. And now, stuff does not move me, which is a beautiful thing.
I love that.
So, but yeah, but so when you really start to, get in this space where you start receiving all of these different laws, like the law of circulation is another thing that really, really helped me because I was like, God, I keep paying all these freaking bills. And then I had to, I shifted my perspective, about that. I was like, okay, I got to just go circulate this money because you know what? I'm going to put it out and guess what? It's going to come back.
Yeah.
And then some of the other things like, even to me, the law of attraction is like an umbrella, because you have all those other laws underneath it. Like the law of assumption to me is like my favorite because that law says when you assume a thing, then it is. It's my favorite. I'm like, oh, I assume a thing, and I did that. Like I did that with my car.
So you do Neville.
I do. I do Neville. I do Florence.
Florence Scovel Shan, boo. Float go.
Game of Life and How to Play It. Almost every day I listen to that.
I love
At
that.
some point, I do, girl. I put it on and I sit it in my watch list, and I'm like, yes, Florence. It's time to play some Florence today. Because sometimes you need that encouragement.
Yeah.
And have you found that in your transformation, in your evolution? Because we didn't even really talk about your who you was before, but in your transformation and your evolution, do you find that um sometimes you find teachers that you can because I call them online mentors, sometimes you find some that that you love and you're growing and stuff, and then you get to a place where maybe you've outgrown that one, or maybe it's time for you to learn something else, or maybe it's time for you to go deeper.
Yes, it's everybody. I think I learned this from the hip hop preacher Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
He said he never really read a whole book. He said
Yeah.
he read that book, but he
Yeah.
never read a whole book. What
Hmm.
he do is he get him a little passage out the book and he go do it. I learned that about 10, 12 years ago from him. And that's the way I live now. So I don't get too deep in any philosophy. I take something that I can grab and I go live it. That's one of the big things about why I can come authentically and open is because I know for a fact that I live what I teach. Like I don't have to guess. I don't ever feel like, how people feel like an imposter.
Yes.
I used to feel like that when I used to call it rehashing information.
Yeah, I got you. Hmm.
When I was rehashing information, I felt like an imposter all the time. The
Well, because
only,
you weren't connected to it.
hey,
Yeah.
right? I was just,
I felt the same. I said, when I started, like, I'll talk about different things and then I'll share an experience to bring it home. Because I say, you know what? Because that's one of the gifts that I have is storytelling. And
yeah.
so I say, I'll share this experience so that you can understand it. Or, or I need to break this down because one of the things that I know that I'm called to do is to open gates, and share this information and spill tea, because it's a lot of gatekeeping going on around here. And it's a lot of things that are happening in this community that also were happening in the religious community. And so some of that has spilled over into this stuff. And so I'm not here for it. I'm here to share the information, to let people know, that show ain't all about them.
One of the things that I've learned on this journey from my perspective is I do share a lot of information, right? I do let people know why, but for the most part, I like to take people into an experience. That's
Yes.
why, so it hasn't started yet. Well, we'll do those meditations for 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes at a time. That's when you get full
Look,
blown 3 breaths. That's nothing.
look.
Like that's nothing. Like when you opening your heart for 30 minutes, people sometimes have to back out. They be like,
That would
go.
be
I
the,
gotta go.
I
Like
mean,
this,
I could do good
my heart
solid,
vibrating.
good
I
solid
can't,
20 minutes. And then
right. They
yeah.
be like, I'm out.
Mhm.
Because we virtual. And it'd be so I mean, you can imagine I have done some art in person. It's so I did it with my church member, my choir. They don't want to do it no more because they were so scared because it was so we got so full in there. Like the spirit just came on in. They were fearful. I said, don't be afraid of what God put in you. We ain't do nothing. We said a couple of breaths. We imagined that the breath flowed through our heart, which it did because it came through our lungs.
Yeah.
I said, and I even used church words with him, and I was like, allow the spirit of God to come into your heart. Come on now. I ain't even make them feel all funny. I kept the words right. It got so full in there. It was like, why are we doing this? I said, didn't you feel that? Did you see how in sync we was? Well, because one thing being heart connected does is it syncs everybody.
Yes.
Everybody is of one mind.
Yes.
I talked about this on my live. I know you weren't there that day. I talked about, were you there that day? Wait, I talked about when the Tower of Babel.
I don't remember that one, but I know what you're talking
So,
about. Talk
so
about
in at the Tower of Babel, those people were so aligned. They all spoke one language, and they were all of one mind. They were all heart connected across board. If one man changed, all minds changed. Doing HeartMath, what's called lock-in. I think you came in for a heart lock-in. A heart lock-in that blends all minds in the room. You become one unit. It's so good for a husband and wife to practice that together.
so powerful.
You become one unit in that moment. And if you practice it on a regular basis, you become one unit anywhere all the time.
Wow.
So I take this into corporate places and get teams together that are working on projects. They may be stuck on a project trying to figure something out. And we teach them to practice for a few hours, and then they get on one, they call, they be like, I be like, y'all ready for y'all checkup? They be like, no, we good. We did our practice today. We saw we in lunch for our project. We don't have time. We can do a checkup next month when the project finished, and I come do the checkup when that project finished, because they blended them in. These are people start reporting that they go eat together. That was first, they didn't care for each other. They go to lunch together. They talk to each other outside of work now. You know what I'm saying? They like, because
so it opens their heart.
When they link up, there ain't nothing you can do about it. You you thought you hated that person. You thought old Sandra over there was weird. Now y'all connecting in each other's hearts. So when you connect in the heart, the brain also links up, and so does the solar plexus. You link up as an entire unit, and the two became one. That's, I mean, I could say it on here. When you have sex, everything drops into alignment between a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, and a man and a man. Everything drops into alignment.
Yeah.
And the two became one.
Yeah.
Imagine if you intentionally did that.
Girl,
And that's what we
feel that already. That is so powerful.
It's so powerful. They like, people like, this is just science. I'm like, this is beyond science.
Yes.
Like, that link up, HeartMath, all them scientists, none of them can explain how that link. They can explain how to link up, but they don't know how that link up works. They like, dang.
Well, it's not for them to know.
Yeah, and I call it a straight brain sync. I call it brain sync, heart sync, whatever. We call it a few different things according to who we marketing it to. But it's so powerful. And I take people into that experience. And when they get into that experience, some of this stuff that we teach, it becomes apparent.
Yes,
because
yes.
The heart is intuitive, and the heart is also discerning.
Yes, yes, yes.
So some of those things that, and I just need to say it to them slightly in a more cultured room, because we're not out in public. Now they're inside having an experience. And now when I say something to them, it's like, now they take it in differently because they're open. Their intuition is on. I've been saying in the last couple of lives, this is the most powerful, easy button
Yes.
in the world. Your heart, I mean, your hands, they are energy movers.
Yes.
That's why people can do Reiki and stuff like that, because these hands, they are tuning forks.
Yes.
They can guide and move energy.
Yes.
When you put your hand on your heart, you turn this puppy on.
Yes.
It emits a signal out to the world that says, I'm ready for whatever.
Yeah.
Soon as you touch this heart, this is why I said it last night. I don't think I had said it before. I've said it plenty of times, but not in these lives. The way you make an American is not by them being born here. It's by getting them to put their hand over their heart and say the pledge of allegiance to the flag for 13 years of their formidable lives. That's how you make an American. Because they have you turn this on. They have you hit the easy button and then say the lines.
Yeah.
They have when we what's the other one? Is it God Bless America? I don't even know what the other one is. What's the other one? The song we sing?
The national anthem?
Yeah, that one. National anthem. Girl, my mind is
Yeah.
anyway. National anthem. They have us again. Put
Mhm.
their hand over their heart and drop those words
That's
down.
what they say every time.
That's how you
right?
create an American. So if you want to do anything else, if you want to, I told them last night, if you want to change the way your child think about themselves, have them put their hands here first. It's going to turn this puppy on, and then you implant. Never say anything mean to your child when you have them tap in.
Yes.
Never say anything hurtful. Never say anything, never. If you see your child clench their heart because they hurt, you better fix your words, because they turning their power on. They don't, I mean, kids do it all the time.
Yeah.
When kids are upset, that's the first place they go.
Yeah.
Adults do it too, but kids even more so.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, the first, I watch videos all the time, little kids crying. They tap it first. They
That's
turn
the
this on
first
first.
place. And nobody taught them that, right?
Nobody had to. It's so natural.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actually an activator turns it on. This is my favorite one. We pray like this and this, all of that. That's new. These have their place, but they're not as powerful as this. I keep calling this the pituitary gland, but what's that back there? Your third eye?
The hippocampus,
Not the hippocampus,
pituitary,
not the pituitary, the
thymus.
I pulled it up yesterday. Girl.
Yeah, that's one of those things that went by the
Third
wayside.
eye organ.
Thalamus,
The pineal.
pineal. That's right.
Like you could see it. I did this like you could see it.
Yeah. I got you.
So when
Ooh, the sun
you,
came out.
oh, I love that. That's the sun of the. So anyway, if you look at old Catholic pictures and stuff like that, this is where the prayer hands were. They were direct to the heart.
Yeah.
Because these energy movers would take this heart energy and direct it right up into the pineal.
Yes.
Would have visions and dreams and they would turn the heart on and then turn it right up into the pineal gland.
Love it.
It's my favorite. Sometimes when I pray, I just sit here like this. I just sit here like this and I feel, because I was saying it, prayer used to be a thing. The way Jerome talks about prayer, that's the only way I've been praying for like many years. I even get on him at church. I don't chastise. I just tell them I don't pray that the cancer is healed. That's not a prayer. That's praying for cancer. I'll tell them that all the time. You pray for cancer when you pray for cancer. I don't pray for cancer. I pray for the full health of the body. I see that person restored. I recognize that person is diseased right now and hurt and out of balance. And I see them and restored to balance where they are. I don't imagine them young and a baby. I see them at their age right now, and I see
Restored.
them in full health and restored. I see that now. That is the only way I pray. Nope, I'm not gonna get down here and say, "Oh, you're not
No,
gonna be able to do it."
you know what? I command. I command. I command the body. And I've been doing that with my own self.
Yeah,
Like before I go to bed, I do a body scan and I command my body to be as God created it
yep.
in every
Man,
way.
full health. Full health is it's the only thing that exists.
Yeah, because you know what, God created us perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if God created us perfect, then that's the restoration that I'm gonna need.
Yeah. The commanding full health. I love that. And but yeah, that's the only way I pray. And when people tell me that they sick recently here because the flu and all of that stuff is out, I say, I say full health. That's all I send them. I don't say you're gonna be healed. I pray you get better. I say full health. They know me. They know me now. They be like, thank you. Question mark.
I think, oh my goodness, all right, we're gonna have to land this plane. I want you to wrap up with any last words that you have. And I also have a question that I ask everyone that comes on the show. If there was one thing that you could change in the world, what would that be and why? And then you can also share with the people where they can connect with you best, the best places to find you. And if you have anything that you're enrolling or offering or anything like that, you can share that as well.
All right. So if there was anything that I could change in the world, what would it be and why? Um, what I'm venturing to do, I would change minds. Um, and the reason that I would change and let's go here. I would change the minds of our children. Um, because as the mind of children change, so does the world. Um, I actually have something that I want to a 501c3 that I want to create that's towards the Black community. Um, it's about how we feel about ourselves. And let me share that with you, and then I'll share my closing stuff. So, the I need to search. Uh, I call it the New Black Credo currently. That's a working title. Don't know what it's going to be called. But it says, I am a human being first.
Yes.
I do see color. I am not colorblind.
Yes.
Cultural anger against other races ends with me.
Yes.
I will not ignore injustice. I
Yes.
will transcend it. I
Yes.
understand that culturally we have advanced as Black people, and I will continuously promote Black advancement. Blacks are not separate from other races. We are one people, even if the person I am looking at does not seem to care for me.
Yes.
I no longer am willing to promote Black people as minority, ghetto, impoverished, marginalized, oppressed, or victims. I now see Black people as intelligent, becoming, significant, privileged,
Love it.
and powerful.
Yes.
Even if the situation seems to be racially motivated, I will not pull the race card. I will answer all situations intelligently and with poise. All of this is a work in progress. It's not full yet, but I want our kids to be saying that from the time they're 1 year old. I want to get that in Black households. I want to get it in schools. I even want other races saying it. Because other races have a feeling towards us that's impoverished, ghetto.
Yes.
So I want to make it something that everybody can say.
Yes.
And right now it's not where everybody can say it. It's kind of geared towards Black people saying it.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as God helped me flourish that out.
But we have to stop there. We have to start there first, though,
Yeah.
because that's the thing. We a lot of times we tend to spread out quicker than doing it here. You know,
Yeah.
we tend to,
We can
instead of
start at
doing
home first.
community, you know, we tend to try to put it out, but it needs to start here because we have to put this in our kids so that they don't feel that shame and that stuff that was passed down to us in our DNA.
Yeah.
You know,
And I,
we have to
and they're
do
gonna
that.
put their hand over their heart when they say it too.
Yes.
They gonna turn that activator on.
Well, if they do it for a country that don't care for them, then they might as well do it for themselves.
And
That's
so
it.
yeah, it's gonna be a 501c3 that's gonna run that. And our whole point is gonna be to get that in every home and in every school system where we are the majority or even in the minority schools, get them in their clubs, because a lot of times when we are a minority in a school, they have clubs that they can get together. Just get that in. So we saying it every day, just like we do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Say that every day, put that hand over that heart and activate. I no longer see myself as impoverished. I
Yes.
see myself as becoming. I see myself as poised. I see myself as powerful. I see all my people as that. Because we even look down on ourselves.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
so yeah, I want us to recreate. There's a school that did it out in Chicago. It still does. They still
Shift the
exist.
minds.
Who?
I said shift the minds.
Yeah, shift the minds, but I
Yeah.
wanted it to mass. So I'm excited about that coming. That's like a real big HeartMath move. My HeartMath is even backing me on that. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
and y'all can find me on TikTok. Um, I'm
Oh,
at
she
Lauren
is
Sovran.
doing lovely. She is lovely. She's doing some beautiful work there. I can attest to that.
Thank you so much. And I gotta get into your lives too. And I want to get on your YouTube channel. I was supposed to do that earlier today, but this
Girl,
brain, you see, this brain struggled for a few things today.
it
So
is
this
okay.
is becoming.
You know what? It's okay. You know,
Yeah.
the thing that the place that I am right now is grace.
Okay.
Grace for me, grace for you. Give yourself grace, you know,
Mhm.
because Rome wasn't built in a day, that's for damn sure,
Yeah.
you know? And I think about it like this, I say, we was enslaved for what, 400 years?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now we're technically not.
Mhm. Technically.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there has that element. So you can't, you know, and it's funny because my husband and I say this. We'll be saying, okay, we need to get this done and that done because right now he's doing what you're doing. He's on that leave, and I have not worked since August.
Mm.
So, so we've been together, you know, but we've been trying to take care of things, and we're trying to, you know, clean out things and throw stuff away and that kind of stuff. And so, you know, we'll say, okay, we want to do this, we want to do this, but you know what? Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah.
And that's the way you have to look at it. Because you know what? I have like a whole list of things that I plan to get done. But you know, I'm also a reflector in human design. So I can't work like no generator.
I
I
hear
can't
you.
do it. You know what I mean? And I know this about myself, you know, and I know that I have, you know, limited energy sometimes. And so I have to work within it, you know, but yeah, so we'll say tomorrow's another day. We didn't get it done today. Tomorrow's another day. You know what? Nobody died because we didn't get this done. You know, so to me, it's like one of those things where, you know, when you start really giving yourself the grace that you probably give other people. Just saying.
Yes.
Just saying. All right, this has been so amazing. I have enjoyed Lauren. This conversation, I could probably talk to her for 2 or 3 more hours, but I know y'all won't watch that long. But
Oh yeah.
anyway,
Let me put the offering in there. We can't
oh
close
yeah,
without the offering.
hey,
So if you come on over to TikTok, download the app if you don't got it. I love you. Come on over to TikTok, become a subscriber. Any level, $2.99, $9.99, $24.99. You'll see the levels inside. They explain themselves. I am giving the full HeartMath course in my membership right now. So the full math course is about $7,000. That's what we sell it for. To the individual, not to the entire company. So to the individual. So, but I'm giving it for the price. And, you know, I've been okay to do that. I'm giving it for the price of my membership, which is like $2.99, $9.99. So
$2.99.
$2.99. Yep, they get to
At
come in.
$4.99.
They get the whole course. It starts on November 3rd and ends on the 29th. We do an hour a week plus
See,
homework.
you just like yeah, you just like me, I got all them free workshops on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. But they gotta pay
Like,
a
go
little
hit
something
them.
to come in this one. They gotta pay just a little something.
Well, $2.99,
But,
I mean, that's really nothing for
yeah,
something like that.
and it'll kick you out.
Is am-
TikTok will kick you out. You let go of that membership.
That is amazing. I love that. So y'all make sure that you guys are following her on TikTok. All of her details will be in the show notes, so you can, the links will be clickable. So, but you'll be able to see this show on YouTube. It'll premiere sometime soon. It's going to be on Spotify though before that, so you can listen to it before. But it'll premiere on YouTube, I think, somewhere in deep in November. It might be December. I'm not sure. But because the show's premiere on Friday at 5:15 p.m. Pacific time. So anytime on Friday, 5:15 p.m. Pacific time, the shows will premiere. So, but also you'll be able to contact her through her links and everything and see what she's doing. And I would recommend that you go and hang out in her room, even just for a little while, just to see, because I'm telling you, she has cultivated a space that is a beautiful place of peace. And I don't say that lightly, because peace is one of my things. I gotta have it. So I don't say that lightly. And so for me, when I entered in her room, I could actually feel the peace. And if you know, you know. So make sure that you are following her. And also make sure you're following me at Intuitive Tammy. Same thing. So we're gonna land this plane, and I am just so grateful that she came on here to talk to us and share her beautiful gifts. Um, do you have any last words that you want to say?
So, um, tapping into your heart is everything. Just hold your heart if you got something that you want to build in yourself, and tell yourself good things. Things that are lovely, kind, and of good report, those type of things.
Yes, that is so powerful. And I can't even co-sign on anything but that's the truth. Tapping into that heart space will change your life. And the deepening that you're going to get when you do that, because that's a journey. And her being a facilitator of this is really going to help you to shift, because you can feel it even in her lives. So, and I can only imagine if she does one-to-one sessions or group sessions or anything like that. I can only just imagine how powerful those will be. So
Mm.
again, you saw her first here on Straight Outta Savannah. Thank you for joining us, and we are so grateful that you were here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. So again, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.